Hello fellow humans, and the E50M is a great tier 10. However, to get there, you're gonna have to go through the Panther 2, which is by no means a fun thing to do. However, what is fun is liking and subscribing. Gotcha. Now, the modules, you don't really have that much of a choice. I mean, obviously, the stock turret is absolutely horrible, just like the stock engine and the stock tracks. At this point, you have this gun, the 8.8 centimeter. 2.4k DPM, 0.3 accuracy, 203 penetration, bad premium penetration, 220 alpha damage, 8 degrees gun depression. It's a pretty solid gun. So that's not really the problem with this vehicle. So what is it then if it's not the gun? Well, it's the combination of all of the factors of this vehicle. Well, the mobility with an average speed of 33 isn't really that amazing. I mean, it could certainly go faster with a power to weight ratio of only 15. I mean, that's not really that good. And it is a pretty damn massive target as well. Now, unlike the E50M, which has excellent front armor, this thing does not. Now, 125mm angled may sound great. However, pretty much any turret is going to go straight through the front plate here. And you can also go through the turret because even though it's 180mm, it is pretty damn weak. And the slope is like 5 degrees, so it's gonna be like 200mm and you're gonna get pinned straight through. Side, again, look at this. This is massive. So what does make this tank such an absolute disappointment? Well, it's everything about it. It's the combination of factors that make this thing absolutely horrible. Now, the pain of this tank is that it's just not really good at anything. I mean, sure, the gun's fine, but if we look at the Pershing has higher DPM and actually has some form of turret armor, and even that tank's not great, so it's not cool. Now, what is also not cool is giving up the advantage. Our T69 right there, he's going to the bad side of the map. We have an advantage. It's 3 versus 2, which means if the T69 would be out here, we could easily overwhelm their 2 medium tanks if they're out here, and if not, we can take map control very easily. So, if you have an advantage, use it. If you don't have an advantage, try to get one, because otherwise you're not going to win. Now, unless you don't care about anything, and then please play a game that is single player where you don't ruin the day of other people. That's how it works, right? Do whatever you want, just don't ruin it for someone else. So at this point, we're gonna be making the Progetto a bit busy, and he does not have penetration either, so that's good for me. 180mm on that vehicle, that is bad. Which means I have turret armor against his standard rounds. Now 8 degrees is almost enough, but it's going to be enough for the Progetto. You don't want to fight like that in a Progetto. You want to be the one that can clip people from a distance, ideally. Like, in a fight like this, the Progetto doesn't have a chance because you can't get that unfair advantage of getting the clip on target. There you go. Speaking of this tank having no armor and then them demonstrating that it does have armor, but that's how you hit the gun mantler. Still, a tank's performance is still always dependent on your own performance and also the enemy's stupidity. So, keep that in mind. Now, VKCR is miraculously still alive. Now he's not. And the team is very much combusting into themselves. The good thing is the Pantera and the Progetto are one-shots, so is the Moiskin, so there is a way back into this one. Biggest problems are going to be the WZ and the 110, but now they're going to die. Okay, we have 2 one-shots as well, which is not great. I would not peek like that if you were a one-shot. Now, all we're going to do is go forward, get some shots into this WZ, and be fine. Now, I wasn't really challenged much in this game, or penetrated even. I mean, no one can pin me. So, I am invincible. And that is a very great lesson in why one game doesn't quite show the full extent of a vehicle in the most part. Now, yes, the Panther 2 is, by win rate on Blitzstars, the second worst tank of all time, after the Centurion 1. Has it gotten better? Not really. I mean, the Centurion did get a bit of a buff. The Pershing did get a bit of a buff as well. The Panther is still the Panther, so it will be a pain. And I would definitely recommend playing this tank in other modes, like Uprising, to get through it, especially when it's Stark. I mean, you do not want to play this vehicle with this gun, like... Nah. I mean, the penetration is also non-existent. Actually has more premium penetration, but it's 160 alpha damage. So, this is the Panther's gun. The Panther's solid, and then once you get to the E50 and you play the E50 stock, you'll still have the same gun here. Do the same thing as well, because the E50 fully upgraded is a pretty solid tank. The E50 stock is about the worst experience that I can ever imagine, and you don't really want to have to do that, because once you get to the E50M, you have one of the best tier 10 medium tanks you can get, if not the best one. So, it's a bit painful to get there. However, I do think it's worth it.